Absolutely. Here's a powerful, motivational speech in the confident, bold, and emotionally resonant style characteristic of Priyanka Chopra, unapologetic, inspiring, and deeply personal. When I look back at the path that brought me here, it wasn't a straight line. It never is. There were curves, corners, breakdowns, breakthroughs. I didn't have all the answers. I still don't. But what I had, and still have, is the will to keep moving forward even when the ground beneath me trembles. I've been underestimated. I've been told I wasn't good enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, not enough, and for a while I believed it. I started to shrink to fit the mold that the world built for me. But here's the thing, I wasn't born to fit in. I was born to stand out, to break molds, to smash ceilings no one even acknowledged existed. You don't have to apologize for your ambition. You don't have to dim your light so that others feel comfortable. You were not put on this earth to stay silent or small. Every one of us has a fire inside, and the world will try to pour water on it. Let them try. You just keep adding fuel. I've made mistakes. I've failed. Publicly, privately, spectacularly. But every fall taught me how to rise stronger, smarter, more grounded in who I am and what I stand for. That's the thing about falling. You learn how to fly. I've walked into rooms where no one looked like me. I've sat at tables where no one expected me to speak, so I spoke anyway, and I want you to do the same. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait to be invited in. Walk in like you own the place, because you do. Be fierce in your dreams, be gentle with your heart, and above all, never forget that your story, your voice, matters. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to want more, and you are allowed to become more than anyone ever imagined. You don't have to be fearless. Just don't let fear stop you. Embrace your uniqueness, don't conform to societal expectations. Stand out, be bold, and embrace what makes you different. Own your ambition, never apologize for wanting more or aiming high. Ambition is not something to hide, it's something to fuel. Rise from failure, mistakes and failures are part of the journey. Each one teaches you how to rise stronger and wiser. Speak up and take space, don't wait to be invited. Walk into rooms with confidence. Your voice and presence matter. Push through fear. Fear is natural, but it should never be a barrier. You don't need to be fearless, just unstoppable, absolutely. Here's an expanded version of the point, embrace your uniqueness, crafted in a powerful, bold, and motivational tone that aligns with the style of the original speech. Be the original, not the copy from the moment we're born. The world starts telling us who to be. There are silent rules etched into every corner of society. What to wear, how to speak, what success looks like, and even how much of ourselves we're allowed to express. Slowly, without realizing it, we begin to trade our uniqueness for acceptance. But here's the truth no one tells you enough. Your power lies in everything that sets you apart. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to break the mold. What makes you different is not your weakness. It is your strength. That accent you were told to soften. That skin you were told to lighten. That dream they called too much. Every single one of those things is part of your fire. You were never supposed to fit into a template someone else built. You were born to build your own. It takes courage to be different. It takes boldness to choose your truth in a world that constantly pushes sameness. But when you do, something shifts. You stop chasing approval and start living with purpose. You stop asking for validation and start standing in your worth. And when you do that, you give others permission to do the same. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs people who are brave enough to live their own stories fully and unapologetically. It needs people who speak with their own voice, walk in their own rhythm, and believe in their own magic. You have that magic, but you have to claim it. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your identity, and your confidence. You are not here to compete with anyone else's journey. You are here to live your own. Your background, your scars, your culture, your fire, those are not obstacles. Those are your superpowers. You don't need to shrink to be accepted. You don't need to erase parts of yourself to be loved. The right people will see you, all of you, and celebrate what others try to silence. So show up loud, proud, and real. Stop apologizing for being too much. You are not too much. You are exactly enough. And if someone can't see your value, they're simply not your people. This world was never changed by people who played small. It was changed by people who dared to be seen. So dare, be bold, Be the one who walks in and owns the space without asking for permission. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You just have to be yourself, fully, freely, fearlessly, because the moment you embrace your uniqueness is the moment you become unstoppable. Stop shrinking your dreams to fit small spaces. Ambition is not a dirty word. It's not arrogance, it's not selfishness, and it's not something to be hidden behind false humility. Ambition is your soul telling you that you are meant for more. And you have every right, to chase that more with fire in your eyes and certainty in your heart. The world may tell you to tone it down, to be grateful for what you have, to not reach too high, to not want too much. But let me ask you this, who decides what's too much for you? Who gets to put a ceiling on your potential? The answer is simple: no one, not society, not your peers, not even the voice of doubt in your own head. Your dreams are valid, your goals are powerful, and your ambition is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to own. You don't need to apologize for wanting success. You don't have to feel guilty for choosing a path that others don't understand. Your life is not a performance for anyone else's comfort. Ambition means you believe in yourself, even when others don't. It means you see possibilities where others see limits. It means you're not afraid to imagine a life that hasn't been lived yet, and then go out and build it. That kind of fire, it's rare. Don't let the world water it down. Too often, people, especially those who have been underestimated, are taught to dream safely, quietly, politely, but you weren't born to play small. You weren't born to just get by. You were born to take up space, to lead, to create, to disrupt, to win. Yes, there will be people who don't understand your ambition. They may call it ego or say you're trying too hard. Let them talk, let them doubt. Their limitations are not your responsibility. Your job is to move forward, to keep building, to prove not to them, but to yourself, what you are capable of. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. You just need your own belief. That's what ambition is, belief in action. It's late nights, early mornings, and resilience in the face of rejection. It's the refusal to settle. It's the fire that keeps you going when everything says stop. And let's be clear, ambition is not just about personal gain. It's about using your success to lift others, to show what's possible, to open doors so others don't have to knock as hard. So own it. Stand tall in it. Be the one who says, yes, I want more, and I'm going to get it. Because the world needs fewer people pretending they're content and more people who are brave enough to pursue everything they've ever dreamed of. Your ambition is your birthright. Claim it, fuel it, and never, ever apologize for it. Failure isn't the end, it's the beginning of your rise. Let's get one thing clear. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Anyone who's ever achieved anything meaningful has stumbled, fallen, and faced moments where it all seemed to fall apart. But what separates those who rise from those who stay down isn't perfection, it's resilience. Failure doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do after. You can stay there, broken by disappointment, or you can stand up, look failure in the eye, and say, not today. That's the choice. That's the moment, and it's in that moment that strength is built. I've failed, loudly, quietly, spectacularly. I've taken risks that didn't work out. I've trusted the wrong people, said yes when I should have said no, and leapt when there was no net. But if I could go back, I wouldn't erase those failures, not one, because every single one taught me something I couldn't have learned from success. Failure forces you to reflect. It strips away the noise and makes you face the truth, not about the world, but about yourself. It teaches you where you need to grow, what you truly want, and how badly you're willing to fight for it. It humbles you, yes, but it also rebuilds you, stronger, clearer, fiercer. We live in a culture obsessed with winning. Highlight reels, awards, flawless success stories. But no one talks enough about the grind behind the glory, the rejection letters, the missed opportunities, the sleepless nights filled with doubt, and yet those are the most important chapters of your story. Not because they're pretty, but because they're real. You don't need to fear failure. You need to learn from it. You need to wear it like armor, not like shame. Let every bruise remind you that you tried. Let every scar remind you that you survived, and let every fall remind you that you are still standing. It's easy to feel alone when you fail, like the world is moving forward and you're stuck. But I promise you, every strong, successful, powerful person you admire has stood where you are. They've been broken, discouraged, told no 1,000 times. The difference is they got up one more time than they fell. Failure is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Let it teach you grit, let it teach you patience. Let it teach you the kind of unshakable self-belief that success alone never could. So when life knocks you down, and it will, don't see it as the end. See it as a challenge, a turning point, a test of how bad you want it. And then rise. Rise with all the wisdom, fire, and resilience you've earned. Rise with your head high, your heart open, and your eyes on the future, because the most powerful version of you is the one who chose to rise, not in spite of failure, but because of it. You don't need permission to be powerful, you've been taught to wait. Wait your turn, wait until you're asked, wait until you're ready. But here's the truth. If you keep waiting for permission to show up as your fullest self, you may wait your whole life. And that's not your purpose. You weren't born to shrink. You weren't born to whisper. You were born to speak up and take space. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room, but you do need to believe that your voice belongs in it. Whether it's a boardroom, a classroom, a stage, or a conversation. Your perspective, your story, your truth, they matter, and the moment you realize that, everything begins to change. Too often we second-guess ourselves. We stay quiet because we fear judgment. We downplay our opinions to avoid making others uncomfortable. We wait for someone to call on us before we step forward. But here's the thing, the world doesn't need more quiet compliance. It needs your courage. Taking space isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. It's saying, I exist and I matter. You have every right to sit at that table. You have every right to raise your hand, to speak your mind, to take the lead. And no, you don't have to be perfect to do it. You just have to be present, fully, unapologetically, and without shrinking who you are. Every time you speak up, you build a bridge for someone else who's afraid to. You show others, especially those who have been silenced, that it's possible, that it's necessary, and that it's powerful. Your voice might be the one that cracks open a conversation, challenges a norm, or inspires a movement. But make no mistake, it will feel uncomfortable. You will doubt yourself, you will feel like an imposter. That's not a sign to stay quiet. That's a sign that you're doing something brave. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from walking into rooms where you're not expected and refusing to disappear. You are not too loud, you are not too opinionated, you are not too much, you are exactly enough. And the world is better when you show up as you. Don't let insecurity masquerade as humility. Don't let fear pretend to be modesty. Claim your space, use your voice, and remember, taking space isn't just physical. It's emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's about owning your ideas, honoring your boundaries, and living fully in your truth. It's about saying, I belong here, and meaning it, even when no one else says it first. So don't wait to be invited. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Speak even when your voice shakes. Take up space even when it feels uncomfortable, because every time you do, you remind the world, and yourself, that you are not here to be invisible. You are here to be unforgettable. You don't have to be fearless. Just brave enough to begin. Fear is not your enemy. It's not a weakness. It's not something to be ashamed of. Fear is human. It shows up when something matters. When you're standing at the edge of a new beginning, when you're daring to dream beyond what you've known, that tightness in your chest, the racing thoughts, the hesitation, that's not failure. That's the first sign you're on the edge of something powerful. We wait too long for fear to go away before we start. But what if I told you it might never completely go away? What if I told you the trick is not to fight fear, but to move with it, to walk through it? To keep going, even when it shakes your voice and tries to hold you back. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to act despite it. The strongest, most successful people aren't fearless. They're simply the ones who didn't let fear have the final say. Think about how many dreams never saw the light of day because someone was too afraid to fail, too afraid to be judged, too afraid to stand alone. You've probably felt that fear too, the one that whispers, you're not ready, or what if you mess this up? But here's the truth, the only real failure is never trying. The only regret that truly lasts is the one where you didn't even begin. Fear will show up when you try something new, when you speak up, when you love, when you lead, but it's also a sign that you're pushing your limits, stepping outside the box, growing into the next version of yourself. And there's nothing more powerful than that. You don't need to eliminate fear. You just need to stop letting it run the show. Let it ride in the backseat if it must, but never let it touch the wheel. You are the one in control. Every time you push through fear, you expand what's possible for yourself. You realize you're stronger than the voice of doubt, and over time, something incredible happens. That fear turns into fuel. It transforms into confidence, into experience, into wisdom. There will be times you feel frozen. That's okay. Take one step, just one. You don't need to leap every time. Sometimes all it takes is a whisper of bravery to change the direction of your life. Don't wait until you're fearless. If you do, you'll be waiting forever. Start scared. Start unsure. Start unprepared if you must. But start anyway, because once you do, the fear starts to lose its power and your courage begins to grow. You were not built to live a small, safe life. You were built to dare, to rise, to stretch, to conquer. So when fear shows up, and it will, look it in the eye and walk forward anyway, because you don't need to be fearless. You just need to be unstoppable, absolutely. Here's a powerful, emotionally charged conclusion to your speech, crafted in the bold, unapologetic and empowering style of Priyanka Chopra. So here's what I want you to remember. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to want more, to dream bigger, to fail and rise, to be scared and still move forward. You don't need to shrink for the comfort of others. You don't need to wait to be chosen. You are already enough, already powerful, already worthy. Walk into every room like you belong in it, because you do. Speak like your voice was meant to be heard, because it is. Dream like the world is yours to shape, because it can be. There is no timeline, no one path. There is only your journey, so take the risk, own the room, love loudly, fall hard, get back up harder, and never, never let anyone else write your story, because the most powerful thing you can ever be is you, unfiltered, unafraid, unstoppable.